Hey everybody, I'll give you all a few minutes for anybody who wants to watch. Hi there. Sorry, it didn't tell me who signed on. So if you could just send me a wave so I can see who you are. I like to say hello. So as I said to several of you that I saw yesterday who are local, I was going to do a live tutorial today on canning cranberries for apple juice. And if we have time, I'm going to be doing applesauce. I'm sorry, what am I saying? Let me try this again. Cranberry juice and cranberry sauce. It's been a day. So I'm just gonna go ahead and flip the camera around and just kind of give you a glimpse of the equipment that I have out. I've already cranberries that are cooking. Really the process for making cranberry juice is super simple. So it basically requires you to have berries, water, and some type of sweetener. Now you can do one of two things. You can blend it with another juice such as apple juice. Normally if we were doing this in the fall, I would have fresh apples to juice and I would use my own fresh apples to mix with the cranberry juice. But because it's off season, I did get some Adam and Eve 100% juice, no GMOs, no added sugar. Just my own personal preference. Hi, Laura. So I'll just go ahead and show you around of the different stuff that we have out that you're gonna need to can your own cranberry juice. So first we have a jelly stand for straining because cranberries have super tiny seeds. A little baby in the back, see him? Isn't he cute? Anyways, this is the pot we'll strain the juice into. We have food mill to mill the berries after they're heated and burst. I have sugar and pectin for the cranberry sauce. This is the juice that I'm using to make my mixed juice. And again, you can see no sugar, no GMO, 100% juice. So over here, I have a pot of juice already warming. And then over on the stove, I have some cranberries already starting to cook. And you just want to kind of give them a smush down to mix them through. How you can see the red in the water? So that means there's already berries starting to burst. The water berry ratio is 50-50. So I've already got some split berries right back here. So, and that's really what we want. Right there's another split berry. So once these berries are split, the majority, whoops, we're gonna let it simmer for 5 minutes. So we've got a few more minutes. So I'm gonna put the cover back on. Here, the canner is already big and hot. I have my big boy out. You can see he takes up 2 burners. This is a 9-quart canner. And sad to say, but I burn through one of these probably every 2 years. Right here, I have a batch of cranberries started. And then I have some here that are washed. And I'm just gonna show you basically what gets done. So I'm gonna fix my little measuring cup there. And I'm just gonna start scooping out the berries, putting them in. So I've got a full cup of berries now. I'm gonna dump them in. And then I'm gonna turn on my hot water because I want these to cook or be cooking very quickly. The more rapid the heat, the faster the berries will burst. And you can see I've got my water steaming already. So then I just dump that in the pot, shut that off, and get the next measuring cup bowl. Super, super simple process. Let's go all. And if you top the measuring cup off, like I'm gonna do, top it off with water too, so you still have equal measurements. Dump it in. And like wild berries, sometimes you'll have, you know, the occasional bruised berry or, you know, a little piece of stem here or there. That's absolutely fine. It's absolutely normal. You know, as long as you just give them a good rinse, you can pick out anything like that. Okay, so that's all ready. I'm gonna cover it and let it just sit in the warm water. We'll give these ones another check. You can see there's even more. Oops, I forgot my spoon. More berries that are showing bursting, which is fabulous. Now, with cranberry juice, berries are a high acid fruit. You can basically sweeten them to taste. There's no real requirement for any high amount of sugar. Okay? I know some people who like to take these and can them pretty much like you would grapes for grape juice. The old-fashioned remedy for canning grapes is take the grapes and put them in the jar and then put a syrup over. And then as they can, the grapes will split, the juice is released, and you have that flavoring. The only thing is with cranberries, because they have super, super tiny seeds, you're gonna have it all through your juice, which means you're gonna have to strain it every time you open your juice. So to accomplish straining of the seeds, that's why we use the jelly bag. So when we're done, what I'll do is I'll do a, you know, one strainer, which is probably the same one I used to rinse the berries, to just take out the bigger pieces. And I'll just let that, you know, sit in this enameled pan here, so that it can continue to drip. And then what I'll do is I'll take the juice and I'll pour it through the jelly bag by ladling. You want to be careful so you don't get burned, because you're talking about boiling liquid. So there's always good to be some. You guys need to get off the internet with your games. I can't. It's interrupting the video. Sorry, I'm kicking my kids off the internet. Facebook does not like us lately. So, and that's pretty much that. So once you have your juice strained, then you put it back on to boil. You bring it up to boil. And as soon as it's done boiling, then you can jar it into hot jars. So all of my jars are already sterilized. They've already done a sani wash in the dishwasher. In fact, I'm gonna re-rinse it to keep them hot. And then we're gonna check these again. See, now look at the difference. It's almost ready to start the 5-minute timer. You get a lot of split berries there, which is great. See all there? So just kind of, it's okay if it's messy. I highly recommend too, if you're gonna use cloth versus paper towel, make sure that you have something that you're not going to be sad if it gets stained, because when you're dealing with cranberries or blueberries, that's definitely going to be a thing. So just another minute. So, and we'll check the apple juice. It's still good. And I'm going to use a different spoon to stir the apple juice. just because I don't want any seeds. Now, just like we've discussed with other times that we've canned, you want to be prepared. So I already have my lids and rings ready to go. So those are ready. I have a cloth out to wipe rims. We're not dealing with anything that we need to remove bubbles. I will, however, use a butter knife to disperse the heat to avoid shocking the jars. When I'm ready to start filling the jars, I'll open the cover of the canner to help the canner reduce heat so that the difference in temperature between the juice and the canner won't be so significant that it will crack the jars. Juice is one of those things where if you had a breakage in a water bath, you could continue to run the rest of the cycle. No, Laura, I don't make a simple syrup first because number one, I'm going to strain that, and I don't want to deal with a sticky mess in my jelly bag. That'll make the seeds stick, and they're miserable to get out. The other thing is, you can notice this. The seam is on the outside. When you're dealing with things with small seeds, I recommend you turn your jelly bag inside out because it will make it far simpler to clean. So if you did a simple syrup and boiled them in a simple syrup, then you would be having to strain that out, and again, it would be a big sticky mess. Just easier to sweeten it to taste after the fact. So any other questions while we're waiting for the berries to do their thing? I'm just gonna check them again. Oh yeah, we're getting a good boil on them now. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the temperature just a little bit. Oh yeah, they're nice. Cover back on, reduce it. And I'm going to put on a timer for 5 minutes. So any other questions? I just want to check one thing. Oh, we're gonna overboil. Okay. There we go. Wouldn't be complete without a mess. Oh, I'm so glad, Lynn. You know, I think this is good enough. I'm not going to let it simmer an extra 5 minutes. I think it boiled enough. Got 3 minutes left. You know, I'm just going to let it steep because it's such a nice boil already, see? So I'm going to let it steep the 5 minutes before we strain. So I'm going to get my strainer set up. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I keep thinking I hear my dog whining, but she's not. She's sound asleep. Okay. All right, so timer has 3 minutes. Is she dreaming and making noise? Dickie, do you want to get out? She's like, what'd you wake me up for? Could you guys hear that? I could hear it. It was annoying. I was thinking she kept whining. So another thing is with apple juice, you want to make sure you don't let it cook too long because it will burn. When it burns, it's kind of like a candy apple smell. So try not to let it burn. Just taking a trivet out because I don't want cranberry sauce all over my whole house, or cranberry jelly all over my whole house, or juice. So I chose to use a red cloth because I'm not going to have a whole mess. So 2 minutes, and then we'll stir, and then we'll put the other pot on so that pot can cook. My plan is to do just plain cranberry juice first, and then probably apple cranberry second. And I don't know if we'll have time to do cranberry sauce today, but if I don't do it today, then we'll do it tomorrow. So put this on rinse again. So what has everybody else been doing? We have been working in the garden. I don't know if you can see this. I have a garden video I'm going to upload. Those are my zucchini and cantaloupe and watermelon plants. We've had some massive rain, so everything has exploded in the garden. I don't know if you can see over here. It's kind of gloomy out. But those tall things are my beans and my sunflowers. Oh, she's found her way back to the kitchen. So yeah, nice, very nice. That is awesome, Sandy. So let me ask you, since you've been doing so much jelly, are you using liquid pectin? Are you doing jams where you're doing pectin free, or are you doing powdered pectin? Oh, nice. Very nice. We have a super duper huge amount of Swiss chard that I will be canning and probably doing live. One of the other ladies in the class is going to come over because she'd like to learn how to do it. So I'm going to show her how to do it so she can pressure can. Powder low pectin. Okay. Alan, would you come lift this for me? Oh yeah, here, look. Look how deep and dark that juice is. Isn't that beautiful? And it's gonna look just that beautiful in the jars. Well, Bianca, watch the tutorial we're gonna do tomorrow on jellied cranberry sauce. No, I won't show you on the video. My husband doesn't want to be on video. You're gonna be like that, That's Inappropriate mom on Instagram. I need it over by the sink so I can ladle it into that. That pan needs to go on the stove. Her husband, Dave, only is blurred out and doesn't go on screen, and he's gonna be just like that. Yeah, if you can put it right there, I can ladle it. That will work beautifully. Awesome. I need to wipe up that mess before you put that pot there. So, FYI too, very carefully when you have overboils with fruit juices and jellies. So much easier to clean it when it's hot than it is to clean it when it's not. And you'll still need to do a second cleaning, but it is so much easier. Okay, that can go on. So now we're just going to, oh, Dawn. Oh, nice. Very cool. I love seeing people get deals like that. I don't know how many of you remember, but we got some cranberries donated by Oh my goodness. Honey, what is the name of the farm? Their bog? It just went right off the top of my head and I know it. I can see it in my head and I can't think of it. Okay, as soon as my brain turns back on, I will tell you the name, but they had 1,000 pounds of cranberries in the freezer that they donated to me to donate or give away by donation. So that's what we did. So yesterday we had about, what was it, 530 pounds? Sugar Hill, thank you, Laura. My brain has turned to mush. So if anybody is interested in more, they have 9 more boxes of 30 pounds each that they need to move, and I told them I would help them move it. So let me know. Sugar Hill Cranberry Co. So now let me just have you look. See down here? See all those seeds? All those little spots? Those little floaties? Those are all cranberry seed. And you just want to be careful as you do this because you don't want it to splat on you. It is extremely hot. Look at the beautiful color of that juice though. Did you turn that on high? Would you? It won't really cook if it's not turned on. Hee hee hee. I like to give my husband a hard time. Alabama must be so nice and warm though right now. You see the air popping down. What are you barking at? Thank you. It's actually an antique water ladle. The kind that they used to have hanging beside the well. I'm just going to move some of the pulp away from the hole so this will help it drain. If you guys could smell this. So I want to let you know, this is another thing, speaking of smells, you can tie a spice bag with whole cinnamon sticks and clove and put it in your pot to boil with your berries to help give you a spiced juice. I've done it before, and especially around the holidays, it's really nice, especially for punches. Yeah, we've been having a bit of a heat wave too, Colleen. But we've had a lot of rain, which we needed. I'm not complaining. We were kind of lacking in the rain. So now I'm just gonna look how deep in red that is. Okay. Oh, a little bit of pulp left in there. I don't want to waste anything. No, I don't add any food coloring. I try to keep my food as natural and organic as possible. I'm not real big on sugars and additives. Babe, could you come hold my phone for a second? He's gonna love me. Making him get up and down. I just need you to hold this. I'm just gonna lift this and let it strain. getting it right straight. And I'm just gonna give it a little. And then I'm gonna let it finish straining in the pot. And then I'm gonna take this over. Honey, you wanna carry this for me? That can go over to the island so I can ladle it through the jelly bag. Right here. You have that on the wrong burner. Okay. So these things are kind of fickle. Yep, set it right down. And I'm gonna get a clean ladle. Actually, I'll just rinse this one. It was half of 3 bags, so roughly 15 pounds total. So about 7.5 pounds for the first batch and 7.5 pounds for the second. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this. You can see the little seeds floating. And I'm going to very gently I think cranberry juice is one of the prettiest juices. Now, if you want a nice clear juice, you would let this set overnight to take any super fine sediment out. But I'm going to use this mostly for mixes with other juice that I can through the year and for punches for family gathering. And you can see that the jelly bag is catching a lot of that fine sediment. Now, you can use cheesecloth, and for years I did. But do you see what I mean right here on the sides? How it's getting that super, super fine sediment? These netted bags work so much better. It's kind of like a fine nylon. Hi, Sarah. It is very pretty. Now, somebody asked me yesterday, and I don't remember who, so my apologies, because yesterday was so busy and so hectic. So somebody asked me about what they can do with the remnant pulp left over. And here is my answer to that. I know a lot of people would think you should make cranberry sauce out of the remnant pulps. Look at the steam. Out of the remnant pulp. And I'm not going to do that. Yes, you can. You can. You want to be careful if you have bones in it, because it could puncture the bags. Did you exchange the peach? Yes. Just as long as you process it correctly, yes. So anyways, cranberry juice is a 50-50 blend. Cranberry sauce is 1.5 cups juice to 4 cups berry. So there's significantly less water. So the pulp here is going to have way more water than what you would use to make jellied cranberry sauce. So I'm not going to use this for jellied cranberry sauce. What I will do is put it through the food mill to remove as much seed as I can and remove the skins. And then I'll take out my dehydrator and I'll line the racks and I'll make a fruit leather with it because the kids will love to snack on it. I can season it, I can add a little bit of sugar, whatever, and they'll go to town on it. So it's a good way to use the extra pulp without wasting. If you have chickens and you want to make sure that they have something, you know, organic to eat, you can go ahead and feed it to chickens. So just don't waste it. If you can feed it to somebody, feed it to somebody. Throw away what you absolutely have to. So just gonna give you another shot here. Still have quite a bit of juice in this pan. I am going to do a cranberry sauce video. I have far more cranberry sauce left over from last year than I thought I did originally. But I'm going to make a bunch of it anyways because I figured what we don't use, we can give as gifts. Okay, and then I'm just going to give this a rinse. Not going to do a real thorough bath of it. You want to be careful when you're dealing with enamel too because you don't want it to chip the enamel. But if you have a chance to get some of these basins, I got this at the True Value in Belfast. I highly recommend. I have 4 of them and they are just about the neatest thing since sliced bread. I use them for beets, I use them for tomatoes. Obviously, I use them for cranberry. And let me see. Oh yeah, I got more juice in here. So, more juice. And we're gonna pour that over. If I have time, I'll do it tonight, but probably it will be tomorrow. So that is pretty much all there is to the processing of the juice berries themselves. I need to move this. I set this on the wrong burner. I'm not complaining though, because I love my husband. Okay. So just had to move this pot to the back burner and I'm going to give it a stir. So that's all good. I guarantee you this water is boiling by now. Nice good steam. Check the apple juice. That's steaming. So yeah, probably by the time that's done, this will be done. Yes, Laura, you could use white grape juice instead. So we just have to wait a few minutes for that all to settle. And then we can put the juice back on to boil. And then we can go from there. Any other questions? I'm guessing we're gonna have a few minutes because this is gonna probably take another 15 minutes to strain. And I don't know why my flash just came on, but it did, so enjoy it. Lynn, I am going to make 2 types of juices. I'm going to do both cranberry juice and cranberry apple juice. I wanted to show you both methods of sweetening cranberry juice. One is the traditional method of sweetening with sugar to taste. The other is a blend of cran apple. I got this one at, honey, I got this jam bag at True Value, right? True Value downtown in Belfast. I don't know what their situation on canning supplies are now, but they tend to carry instruments for pressure canning and regular canning, butchering, a lot of really great stuff. So even pressure gauges and seals and things like that. Yes, Dawn, to answer that question. I think I've mentioned before that what I can't grow here, we barter or we buy in bulk. And we were blessed with being able to find somebody who had cases by the truckload coming of oranges and grapefruit. And I endeavored on making oranges and contru as a dessert. It's contru is a orange liquor that's very, very sweet. But I thought it would be a nice adult treat to have over ice cream in the summer or things like that. The oranges that I used were not the oranges to use. The book did not make the distinction, and it should have. It needs a thin pith orange. And if you have too much pith in something, it is bitter, and it is nasty bitter. And the whole mix came out nasty bitter. So it all went in the trash. We did not eat it. None of the farm animals we had at the time would eat it. That is the one thing I can say truly got wasted. So I'm going to take a little spoon. Now, if you choose to do this, well, number one, I wouldn't recommend you do this unless you're going to be super, super gentle. But I'm just going to try to gently slide some of this pulp off. So just see right here. Just kind of, I'm not pushing it against the bag, I'm just kind of scraping it away from the bag so that the bag can let more juice through. Whoops, sorry, not even showing you. Here, stare at my island with my ladle. Yes, Laura. Those are the 2 stores my husband, I think, dreads. Canning stores and yarn stores. He knows there's going to be money spent if we're near either one. He just said, when they know you by first name. So you want to be careful if you choose to endeavor on doing what I just did too, because it will, if you're not gentle, rip holes in it. But see how nice and dark that juice is? Love, can you grab me another one of those big blue basins? See how beautiful and clear that juice is? So it's a nice way to get it done. We're just gonna go over here and check our berries. Now, cranberry juice gets processed for 15 minutes. I said cranberry juice, right? I didn't say sauce. Oh, see, I missed a stem. We already have berries starting to break, so that's good. Now I have two different ball books that I think I've mentioned before. Whenever I can, I try to keep 2 or 3 references out. And I have 2 of my ball books here. Now in the older version ball book, it says simply to boil the berries until they burst, then shut it down and strain. The other is the one that says 5 minutes because you get more of the sugars and more of the juices out of the pulp. So I kind of like that idea. So it's not absolutely necessary, but it's like what I like to do. So, and you can see just a little bit more juice there. So I try to take advantage of every bit. And then we will food mill this with some sugar. Do you want to mill this? I know you want to. I can see that deep desire in your eyes. Can you put that together? You can mill or you can film. What do you want to do? My children told me today that I manipulate my husband. Because, I don't know, if you're friends with me personally on Facebook, you'd see that the other day he sent me a message and I said, oh, what do you want for dinner? And he said, how about frozen pizza? And I said, oh, Chinese food? That sounds wonderful. So my kids said, Mom, that's manipulative. I don't think that was manipulative. Maybe a little bit. Either way, I thought it was funny. Exactly, Dawn. I mean, Bianca. Sorry, I read the wrong name with the wrong comment. So do you want to mill it or do you want to? Okay, that is not the right one. Where's the one with the ultra fine one? Yeah, that's the one I want. Sorry, buddy. Wrong strainer. Our food mill has 3 different size grates. That's the one we want because that one will let the seeds through. All right. Wait a minute. I don't know what he's doing. We can check the berries while we're waiting. Whoops, sorry, didn't flip the camera. So probably, oh, we already have splittage, see? So probably just, oh, there's more. Just another few minutes and this one will be ready to start straining as well. Woo, that's hot. Yep, she's ready. So, we will have apple juice. What are you doing? Are you gonna mill the berries? My husband is so funny. Are you gonna mill the berries for me?
Do I have a choice?
Yes. You can hold my camera and I'll mill. Evidently he doesn't want to mill. I do. There are also people that I've connected with over the years. Hit your farmer's market. What?
Is this where it's going into?
No.
What's it going into?
Right, that pan?
This pan?
Yes.
Why is it this pan? This is horrible.
Well, do you want to? The other one had burn marks in it, so I couldn't use it. I have it soaking so I can get the burn marks out.
This doesn't work.
Okay. Do you want to find a different one? My husband is unhappy with my choice of pot. I don't want to use my Pioneer Woman because it will stain the inside because they're white. So yeah, I reach out to people at farmers markets. A lot of times farmers markets are great places. We are lucky, we have a couple great farms that we have made connections and made friends with. So the place where we get our seedlings is a great resource for buying produce, although we've not gotten bulk from them. And then all that's in there is my nice stuff. It has to be stainless or an animal or it will stain. I told you I need more pans. But there is a local farm called Piecemeal Farm, and they sell bags of carrots by the 25 pounds. They sell bags of beets by the 25 pounds. So if my farm produce that I've grown myself did not produce adequately, I can buy from them and I can get it from them and process it. And they're organic, so I don't have to worry about, you know, what's in the food. So, no, not gonna work. Yeah, see? Do you want me to wash this pan and use this one? All right, well, slide over and I'll do it. Here, you hold this. If you have any cracks in it, absolutely. I found that at the end of the day, farmers markets, some great deals. Yes, that is absolutely true, Dawn. Okay, so here, you hold the camera. I don't think they need to see me wash the pot. Don't you want to see how I wash my dishes? Really? Really? Y'all, my husband, he's playing with me. Gonna have you watch me wash dishes. Okay. There you go. Now you have a smaller pot to mill the cranberries. He's happy now. So that's pretty much all you need to do. You want to put that up so I can show them this. See the pulp? So I'll sweeten that. And that is what I will use to make fruit leather with. Seems to be hit or miss with ours. Oh, nice. We have a fun time together, so. We've been married. Oh my goodness. How long have I been married to you?
You seriously admitting to them that you don't know?
I'm one of these women, I forget my anniversary.
I'm glad this is recorded.
Right here. This is exactly the place you want to be, Shannon. That is exactly why we started this class. So,
27 years.
Okay, we've been married 27 years. And I'm a huge practical joker. And I like to give him a hard time. And he likes to give it right back. Okay. So this one is also ready to start straining. So yes, Shannon, I started this class to help teach people how to can, because there is a slew of bad information out there. And I mean a slew. So this one, can I have a plate from behind you? Or actually a small bowl? Yeah. That should be okay. So now I'm just going to transfer this. All right. So this is what our juice looks like. Ignore that little bit of foam. And I'm just going to see how sour this is. Woo! That is a humdinger. That is some tart. Oh, I'm so glad you guys feel like family. That makes me happy. So I'm thinking, because the other batch of cranberry is not going to be able to be strained yet, I'm thinking because the apple juice is hot, whoops, we should just go ahead and mix that cranberry juice with this apple juice and start doing cranberry apple juice. Okay, so we'll start with that one first. Nate, can you come hold this for Mom? We're gonna bring in the whole family. They're all like, why? Why? So I just need you to, here, grab that. Right over here. Okay. So I'm going to give this a good stir. I'll find another metal spoon. You should definitely start canning, Shannon. It is so great. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love being able to open stuff and know exactly what is in it, and that my family isn't going to be entertaining heaven knows what in their bodies. So for me, it's a winner. I mean, it is a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. Okay, so now we're going to give this a taste and see. See if it's going to need anything. I don't think it's going to, because apple juice itself is pretty sweet. Still beautiful color. Look at that. Oh, that's yummy. Do you want to try some of this, honey, and tell me if you think it needs sweetener? I don't think it does, but... Here's a clean spoon. Do you want to try this? Tell me if it needs any sugar. Exactly, Bianca. Good? Do you need any sugar in it?
What?
Does it need any sugar in it?
Maybe a little, not much.
Remember, it's hot, so it's not gonna.
Add a little if you want.
He's saying add a little if I want to, but I don't think it needs it. So. Hey boys, do you want to have a taste? Yes. Sometimes I put a little bit more apple than cranberry because cranberry is so tart, but we tend to like it tart. Do you boys want to try it before I start canning it? Do you want to try it before I can it? Well, you didn't answer. Teenagers. Right there, just grab a clean spoon. We'll see what he says. Dad said maybe a little sugar. I said probably fine. We'll see what he says. What do you think? You think it needs sugar? They're all like, it needs sugar. I don't think it needs sugar. So I'll add a little sugar just to make them happy. So, let me see. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to put the phone right here for a second. Elijah, you want to pass me a measuring cup on that side of the island? It's right in there.
1 cup, 2 cup.
Probably 1 is adequate. Yeah.
Okay, where's the stuff?
Right over there.
Oh, please.
Elijah's gonna go taste. I really don't think it needs this. They all have the Sugar Joneses though. What do you think?
A little sour, but just like a tiny bit.
All right.
That should be enough.
I think that's gonna be way too much.
No, that's good.
I'm gonna just do a half a cup. And we'll see what a half a cup does. Here we
If it
go.
doesn't do much, we'll do more.
Grab me a clean spoon to taste test. So I just put about a half a cup of sugar in it, just to satisfy the boys. All right, you're gonna try some too?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Woo, this is sweet.
Still sour.
You think that's still sour?
I can't taste sugar in it at all. Maybe if you just mix it more, maybe it will come up.
No, I'm gonna say it's good because if we mix this with punch, with ginger ale and other
Sure.
sugary juices, it's gonna be way too sweet. So I'm making a mom call and I'm saying half a cup is all you're getting. How do you like me now? So I'm gonna go ahead and put the dishwasher on a rinse. I'm going to open my canner, close my juice lid. Okay. So this will get a little bit warmer to bring the temperature of this up. I'm going to take this lid off. And might have to add some water to that. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna add some water. All right. You can see I'm just raising the water level up to the canner so that after I get all 9 quarts loaded in it, it will be able to cover the jars by an inch, but not going to overflow. So that's probably good. And I'm going to get out my thermometer. Where did my thermometer go? So I just want to make sure my juice and my canner are somewhat consistent in temperature. So I think that's 275, 85, yeah, 275 degrees, no, 175 degrees, what am I saying? 175 degrees. Okay, and then let's check out what the temperature of the juice is. This is a candy thermometer. So there's definitely more than 10 degrees. And that a difference of that much can cause the jars to shock. So I'm going to leave that open, the canner, and leave that closed. Is that one done? So here is the remnants of what we have. So this will be made into fruit leather, and that's all we'll have to throw out. So maximize your yield. Okay, and now this pot is ready to strain. So, do you want to mill what's left in that bag or no? I won't show your face. What are you looking for? The other pot mitt is right up here. Thanks. And it is super hot in this kitchen. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. I like using the sink better than the other. Can you lift this for me? Thanks. Put that down in there. I'm gonna grab my big ladle from over here. And you can see, literally, we waste nothing. Now, we'll move these berries over. So it's just a lot of repetitive process. Probably could let this one go a little bit more. I'm seeing a lot of berries that are barely broken, but that's okay because A, we have plenty of berries to use, but also that'll make the fruit leather a little more flavorful. Last year we canned, what, 300 quarts of juice between all the different types. Mostly grape though. And just gonna get those last little bits. Same deal as the cheesecloth bag. I'm not going to this time, no. I do have some applesauce I could do that with. If this were fall and I was making applesauce and apple juice, then yes, I would. I'm gonna use the cranberry. My kids all love tart stuff and sour stuff and hot stuff. So I'll add a little bit of lemon juice to preserve the color. And then I will maybe add a little bit of apple juice. But probably not too much. And I may add a little bit of sugar, but not very much. I try not to do much as far as refined sugar at all because I just don't think it's as healthy, but I have some sugar in the raw I'll use. Okay, so this is ready to lift out. So now we'll finish dripping in this pot so we don't waste any. And there's our next set of juice to ladle. Honey, would you carry this over there for me again? It's a family project, you know. Oh. So we'll move this back over here. And I'll pull the bag down. Clean up a little bit of pulp that's on the outside because we don't want that getting in our juice. That's my hands. And give this a rinse so there's no seed. And then we'll ladle this juice through. I think I got a little bit of seed in that. And just as soon as I'm done ladling this, then we'll check the temperature on the apple juice again. Oh, no worries, Laura. And that is the rest of that. So that probably will fill this pot. So I got these pots at an auction, and they came with little baskets that, didn't I get these on an auction? Where did I get them from? No? Oh, these are one of my husband's finds. There's 2 of them, and they come with little insets that are strainers. They are fabulous. If I was doing this on a smaller scale, I would have boiled my berries right in this and then just pulled them out. But I don't do anything, it seems, in small scale. He's shaking his head no. So go big or go home, I always say. Okay, so let's go and check the temperature of this juice. Let's flip of this. I think she's boiling. She's got some small spots of bubbling. Try to back up so the steam doesn't get my camera lens. I'm not sure why my phone wants to put the light on. So juice is about 175. And let's see if our water has cooled enough. And still about 185. Well, I'm going to add some cold water. Try to hasten the process. Just means that when I get going, I may have to ladle some water out. Can you put the dishwasher on another rinse cycle so those jars stay hot? Just rinse and start. I'm going to call that good. I'm just going to remove the basket. And give this water a stir so that way it's evenly, there's no cold spots, because that too will break hot glass. Oh, sounds good. And then let's check it now. And I think we are golden. Awesome sauce. Okay, we are gonna start this process. So first things first, oops, hit the rack, set back in. Oh my good grief. There we go. So, is that done rinsing? Okay. All right, so we're gonna use the big ladle. We're just gonna rinse to make sure we have no seeds. And then we will start jarring our juice. Actually, okay. So this beautiful, beautiful color. All right, we'll catch you later, Dawn. Okay, so now we're going to get our jars. Hey, Nate, do you want to man the camera while I fill jars? Just gonna wet one end of my towel. We don't want any sugar or juice on the rims. So you can just focus on that pot for right now. These jars are hot out of the dishwasher. You can focus on the jar if you want to. I'm gonna get a ladle, a funnel, and I'm gonna point the hole of the funnel, the point, right onto this knife. This is a very old school method. Some people don't do it, but I do it just to help protect the jar. And with cranberry juice, you are going to fill it to 1/4 of an inch. Headspace. So I think I'm going to top it off a little more, but I don't want this jar cooling, so. So I want to show you all, well, let that set for a second. There's a great little cheat sheet in the back, or sorry, in the front, of older canning books that shows you thread space. And if I can find it, I'll show it to you while we're doing this. I probably should have had it out already. No, I don't have it. All right, well, when I find it, I will post it so you all can see it. So this is almost a full inch. This would be an inch. So I'm going to fill it to here. So we're at 1/4. Oh, I'm probably going to take a little bit of that. You don't want to have any siphoning from improper headspace. So typically, the first full thread is where you will stop. Of course, I don't have one in this drawer. I have them all in the rack. Hold on 1 second. And if you turn this, see that first thread right here? That's where you'd want it. Can you pass me a lid and a ring? For both? Notice how I didn't really wrench on that? That's finger tight. So now I'm going to take these here and I'm going to evenly space them to keep the basket level. Woo! That was a little bit rougher than I expected. Next two. Move the way I wanted it to.
The phone's at 20%.
There we go. Just scoop out some of that foam. This foam will settle down into liquid. You're making sure where you're aiming right so they can see the process. Okay. We got one, yeah. Okay, and then same thing, balanced. So this canner holds 9 quarts, I think I told you already, but just in case I didn't. So it's nice, you can do a large batch with not quite as long of wait between loads because you're doing more. I should say not as many loads. one has a little bit more foam, so I'm gonna let it stay down below because that's gonna, again, break down to being solid juice. Gotta put the rough edge on that, but no, it's just the same. Glass is getting hot. Okay. Next 2 jars. You always want to make sure you set that knife down nice and gentle because banging that glass can cause it to have a microscopic fracture and break, especially once the heat touches it. This one can be a little bit more. There we go. Now, if you guys have a tool to measure, I recommend you use it, especially while you're new to canning, if you're new to canning. So far I have 8. I don't think I can fit a 10th one in there, do you? I think I did one time, and I think it was too much. I don't think it's going to fit a 10th. No, but I'm thinking maybe I might be able to get 10th one in there. I know better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ladle some water out. So like I suspected earlier, can you go that way, honey, so I can reach the smaller ladle? It has husband always asks me, why do you need 14 different ladles? This is why. Different sizes will do different jobs. And I'm not going to dump that because I might be able to add some of that back in. There we go. There we go. No, I'm not going to add any back in, but I am going to take some more out. Because once that gets a rolling boil, it's going to splatter over my stove. All right. So that is sufficient. I'll put this on, let it get to a full rolling boil, and then after it's at the full rolling boil for 15 minutes, because a rolling boil is 220 degrees, which is what you need. I'm sorry, 212 degrees. So once that gets to that temperature, then it will do 15 minutes. I'm repeating myself. And then we will open it, let it set open for 5 minutes so that the water cools a little bit, lift it up, and then we'll remove the jars. There's no distinction between canning jars. If you can water bath with it, you can pressure can with it. The exception is jars like Classico sauce. They have jars that they can their spaghetti in that are Atlas jars. They are suitable for water bathing, but they're not suitable for pressure canning. In fact, I wouldn't recommend somebody who's not an experienced canner even using them for water bath canning. So that is pretty much all there is to canning juice. I'm gonna let you go because it's gonna be probably 10-15 minutes before that's back up to a boil. So it'll be at least a half hour before the jars are ready to come out. I'm gonna prep the fruit leather and get that all set up. What that looks like, and get the dehydrator running. And then, yeah, and then that's it. So tomorrow, just because it's so late, it's almost 8 o'clock. So we'll do cranberry sauce tomorrow. Really, really simple. It's about 4.5 cup berries to 1.5 cup water. You boil them until the berries break. You do your pectin and sugars. And then you let it boil until it's at the gel stage, and then you jar it. Pretty simple stuff. So if you have any questions, let me know. But I will jump back on when we're taking these out so you can see what they look like when they're done. Okay? Have a good night. Back. Juice buzzer just went off. You can see, oh, let me move my camera. Oh, I almost got your face. They almost saw your face.
I want them to see my face.
Nice rolling bubbles. So this is quite a heavy load. So I'm not going to try, even though I have in the past, to lift it out without, but I'm just going to, actually, I got the air conditioner running. I don't want to shock the jars by taking it out. Maybe I should just lift it. Yeah, you want the ladle with the hooks on the end. This is one of them. Do you want to hold it and I'll do it? Do you have that one? Okay, there. All right, so now lift. It's heavy. Yours didn't go on. There we go. So we're gonna let it set for 5. And then pull them out. And then we'll do the next batch. And that is how we make cranberry apple juice. And so that would be pretty much it. It's on the internet right now. So my husband was suggesting that we save the pulp, and rather than make fruit leather, which one, because last time we made fruit leather, one of the boys left the bag open and it went stale, so it ended up going to the birds, literally. But he suggested maybe we freeze it so that we can make cranberry applesauce. But I'll have fresh cranberries then too, so I think we'll just make fruit leather. Don't tell him, he knows already. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing, and if you have any questions, let me know, and we will talk to you all later.